In any case, Besant is going to express this from the Theosophical point of view. She says the first thing for a person to do in practical yoga is to separate himself from the mental body and to identify his manas, mental consciousness, with the self. Normally our mental consciousness, the one that we are using right now, we are aware at the level of a cognitive level, understanding and thinking, etc. Normally we are identified with the process of thinking, with the process of hearing, with the all the cognitive processes that are going on right now with you. You say, I am thinking, I am trying to understand. Now, Besant says that in yoga, the first step is to get our mental consciousness to realize that we are not thinking, manas, we are not the ego, ahamkara, we are not even the pure reason, buddhi, and we are the self that is beyond all of them. There is thinking, there is reason, there is a sense of I-ness, but these qualities belong to the mental body, let's say. Not to the mental body specifically, but they can only be expressed through the mental body. And part of the purpose or the goal in yoga is to realize we are not this. These are the functions of the mental body. We are the self, as we are going to see. So Besant says you must be able to take up and lay down your mind as you do a tool, before it is of any use to consider the further progress of the self in getting rid of its envelopes, the envelopes being the other bodies. Hence, the mental body is taken as at the starting point, suppressed thought, quieted, stilled. So as she says, for the higher yoga, we need to be able to use the mind at will. She will talk a little more about this. Put your mind aside when it is not necessary. Use your mind when it is necessary as a tool. But for that, we need to break that identification between I am the thinker. A lot of our thoughts are not really ours. It's the automatism of the mental body, our thoughts from other people that come into our consciousness, etc., etc. But because we are identified with thinking, we think that all these thoughts are ours. So in order to produce this break in the identification, the first step that she says that yoga or Raja Yoga proposes is to quiet thinking, to still the mind, because in that quietness, you realize that you are still there when there are no thoughts. So who are we when there is complete silence, when there are no thoughts, even if for a few seconds, when there is no thought, no sensation, no emotion, there is absolute stillness. Do you disappear? Obviously not. You are still there. Who are you when there are no thoughts? What are you when there is no thinking? This is what we need to start investigating in meditation and trying to experience, because that brings little by little a realization that really we are beyond the mind, that we exist, whatever we are, we exist beyond the process of thinking. So this is the first step. In the higher yoga, there is a whole preparation that is necessary before we are able to do this. To stay with a still mind is by no means a small achievement, but what we may call the higher yoga, the yoga that begins as a possibility when the person is able to go beyond the mind. The first step for that is to be able to quiet the mind completely, mind, emotions, sensations.